Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me, Muhammad Fatima bin Fazal, the function project leader, will be presenting our multifunction system inventory system. Before going into the system, we have put a security system that enables the user to enter their username and password so that other people than the user itself will be able to use the system. And now I will be entering my username and password. Moving on, this is the system that I will be showing, which is the multifunction inventory system. And the first part that I want to show is the item catalog, which is this one. And now I will be moving on into the item catalog. Okay, now I will be showing the item catalog function. The function of the item catalog is to search for the item ID so that we can use for the inventory system or the transaction system from the menu before. An example how to use this is by searching the name or the item ID. As an example, I want to find choco jar. Fine. And then it will tell us the item ID and also the quantity within the inventory. Now moving on, I will be showing you how to use the input box within the multifunction inventory system is by entering the item ID that we have seen in the item catalog. And for this one, I will put the P001 and then I will ask for about 100 quantity with 0 discount. And there we go. We get a transaction, and from there we also minus the current item inventory quantity into after we reduce it to sell it to the customer. And now we have the item name, the price per item, and also the total price for buying 100 quantity of that item itself. And now moving on into the transaction list. Now to the transaction list, this is where we can see the transaction information as you can see over here. And from here, within the group box, we can insert a transaction ID to see the transaction that has happened before. As you can see here, the first transaction ever. And it also contains the date for the transaction, the total price, the quantity that the transaction has, and also the item name. Also, it also includes a profit. And for the transaction that we did before, which is 95, and then we click find, it will tell us the transaction that had happened a while ago, which is very accurate without any single discount. And now I will be moving on to the next part. For the next part is that sales statistic for today. The sales statistic for today is where we see the transaction that has happened for today only. It also tells us how many items that have been sold for today, the total earning, the total profit, most bought item, and the least bought item. As you can see here, there's only one transaction that has happened for today. But if there was something else that had that was bought lesser than 100, it will be entitled here for being bought less than 100, and also the item name will be also different from Mr. Potato Barbecue. Okay, moving on. As you can see here, this is where the user or admin insert more items, as in stocking new items for their items. An example for this is where I stock up the choco tub, but first I need to insert the item ID for the choco tub, and then I can enter the amount of item to be inserted into the inventory of choco tub, which is I will put 500, and then as I click insert, it will insert the new stock into the choco tub inventory, and then you can refresh it to see the quantity being updated into the inventory. That's it. Moving on to the next part. Moving to the transaction menu, which is the input box, I will be inserting about another item, which is P001, and about 200 quantity with 0% discount. Calculate. As you can see here, it did not decrease the total price or change the total price. Instead, it increased the total price as in stacking with the other prices, so that for each person they can buy anything they want and they will still get the total price. Moving on to the sales statistic for today, for example, for sales statistic for today, as I refresh this, there will be about 4 transactions for today. And then the most bought item is Mr. Potato Barbecue because there are 300 items that was sold today. And then the least bought item, which is Keropok Pisang, which has 50 that is less than 300. Moving back to the transaction menu. That is all for the multifunction inventory system. I hope that everything was explained clearly, and thank you for watching.